Today on the show, it's Quick Question, the show where I try answering your questions quickly. And today's question is, Batman or Batwoman? Which one do I prefer? Okay, so to narrow this down, we're not going to be looking at every Batman and the two Batwomen. We're just going to be looking at Kate Kane as Batwoman and Bruce Wayne as Batman. So let's look at the similarities between the two characters. They're both rich. Anything that Bruce Wayne doesn't own, the Kane family do own. Although this does lead us into a key difference, Bruce Wayne has quite a bit of responsibility in his life because he's obviously this multi-billionaire businessman, whereas Kate Kane is just a socialite. She's from money, but it's not her money. They both have their own version of the Joker. Although, once again, this leads us into a key difference where we don't know who Batman's Joker is. Yeah, he's given an origin every few years or so, but that becomes non-canon about a year or two later, so don't worry about the Joker's origin, is what I'm trying to say. Batwoman's version of the Joker, we know who she is, we know she's directly related to Batwoman, and she's almost more human in that respect, but that's okay. But that's actually what I kind of like about the Joker, how we don't know who he is, and because of this he's just not human. He's this weird creature that's very human at the same time, and that's what makes him scary. Outside of those things though, the two of them don't have much in common. I guess it is worth saying they're cousins, but that doesn't really matter here. There's a huge irony between these two characters though, because Batman fights crime, which is very, very real in our world, whereas Batwoman fights the paranormal, which is considered very, very unreal. But if we look at their personal lives, Batwoman has a much more real and down-to-earth personal life. Yeah, she's from money, but she isn't rich. She leads a relatively normal life, whereas Batman's life as Bruce Wayne just is not normal at all. This is also reflected in their backstories. Batwoman became Batwoman because she was kicked out of the military because of don't ask, don't tell. That's something that's very, very, very real. I know people on a very personal level that were kicked out of the US military because of don't ask, don't tell, and chose to not go back because they are still bitter about it to this day. But they still have all of that training. Whereas Batman, he got his training through other means. That's a story for another time, but it's not real. It's a story. But then Batman fights crime, which, like I said, it's real. He fights things that we do see in our world. Whereas Batwoman fights things that you would have to have an insane imagination to think up. And these writers clearly do have an insane imagination because there she is fighting them. The things she fights just aren't real. So that's a huge difference between the two of them. And it's kind of like how they're both night and day in one, but whereas night is day for Batman, day is night for Batwoman, if that makes sense. I will have to say, I do prefer Batwoman. This being said, I don't dislike Batman. I love the direct Bat family around Batman, and I do like him as a character. I just prefer Batwoman. Overall, I like both characters, but I've got a preference for Batwoman. But if you prefer Batman, that is totally okay with me because we've all got our preferences.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. So which one do you prefer, Batman or Batwoman? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my comedy channel if you want to laugh. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.